All right, let's talk about something real today that will give you lasting benefits. If you've been struggling with stress, chronic tension, PTSD, panic attacks, or just that deep exhaustion from carrying too much for too long, then I hope this video is for you. And more importantly, I believe Yoga Nidra is for you. You see, the number one reason I think Yoga Nidra is a game changer for trauma and stress is that it resets your nervous system completely. It decompresses all that stored nervous tension from your body, mind, and emotions that you've been carrying perhaps sometimes for years. And this is why I'll be guiding a special 5-day online retreat starting this Saturday, February 1st, where I'll go deep into this. There's more in the description if you're interested. So let's continue. So, why Yoga Nidra? For resetting the nervous system. Most methods of relaxation still keep your nervous system active in subtle ways. It's really just distraction. If you think about the way that most people relax, it's really just distraction. But Yoga Nidra takes you to a state of awareness where your body is completely at rest, your mind is free from all effort, and in that stillness and silence, your nervous system can finally release, can finally exhale. And when your nervous system is relaxed, then the parasympathetic nervous system is dominant and healing can actually begin. So most of us don't even realize how much tension we're holding unconsciously. Shoulders, jaw, stomach, clenched all the time unconsciously. Yoga Nidra teaches us how to be able to understand this relationship between the body and the mind, and how stress is not a real thing. Stress does not have its own inherent existence. Stress arises codependently between the body, mind, and breath. So we are manifesting stress unconsciously. And Yoga Nidra helps us be able to diffuse this reaction between the body, breath, and mind just by cultivating awareness. And we can break that chain at one link, either the body, the breath, or the mind, then we can disrupt that whole pattern of stress manifesting. So it gives you access to the subconscious mind. You can retrain your body to experience deep muscular relaxation in Yoga Nidra. Well, this is really important. On the level of the physical body, we are habitually holding chronic muscular tension. There's muscles that become tense and tight habitually as soon as you lose awareness. There's other muscles that become tense and tight in response to specific emotions or states of mind. So when you train your body through Yoga Nidra to cultivate awareness, then you are retraining your nervous system how to stay in a relaxed state instead of that fight or flight mode, because stress is actually a natural response to some kind of pattern interrupt in your environment to keep you alert. So we need actually some amount of stress is good. Otherwise, you wouldn't even leave a burning bus. However, the problem so much isn't stress, but chronic stress. And this is what Yoga Nidra helps us be able to retrain. And we're going to be also in our retreat, we're going to be learning 3 key breathwork techniques for immediate relief from panic attacks and anxiety, because sometimes, Yoga Nidra really helps for the long-term benefits of retraining the neuromuscular system and helping us to offload those deep-seated roots of our tension and anxiety and trauma and sufferings. But when you need immediate relief, I have found there's 3 key breathwork techniques that can help bring you out of turbulent emotions and uncomfortable states of mind very quickly. So then we go to the level of the mind in Yoga Nidra. See, this is why Yoga Nidra is so profound. It's because it is a multi-dimensional form of relaxation, whereas other forms of relaxation only target either the body or the breath or the mind or the psyche, but Yoga Nidra is going to target all of them. So Yoga Nidra doesn't just relax the body. It lets you access the subconscious mind. It's like turning on the light in a dark room. When we become conscious in the dream state, We can actually observe our patterns, emotions, and fears from a place of detached awareness. That detached awareness is what is key. So when you see your own thoughts from a distance, you no longer get lost in them. You can step out of that egocentric mode, which is really what's perpetuating the emotional reactions, the emotional responses, and those uncomfortable emotions. Those are uncomfortable psycho-emotional energies. So we have to be able to step into this separate, detached, neutral, observing state of mind so that we can allow these repressed debris in the psyche to be able to surface, and then the light of awareness to be able to express themselves so that we can be free from them. And then finally, not only are we body and mind, but we are also soul. So the deep silence that heals everything. Here's where things get really interesting. On the level of the yogic dimension, beyond the body and mind, when we have that union of those polarities and we can transcend the gross and the subtle, where there's no mental activity, no stress, just pure awareness. And even just 30 seconds in this state can refresh your entire system. It's like your mind hits the reset button and you get total relief from whatever it is that you might be suffering from, because suffering is on the level of the body and the mind. When we can transcend that through stillness and silence and go into the state of Yoga Nidra, then we can transcend all of our suffering. So most of us go through our whole lives never experiencing that true silence within ourselves. And Yoga Nidra gives you that. So I just want to give you, I don't want to just only promote um, the retreat to you. I also want to increase awareness to that, just to be totally transparent with you. But I also want to give you some real, actual practices you can use. So there's 3 breathwork techniques. Here they are. We can understand Yoga Nidra is very powerful for offloading those psychological sources of disharmony and tension. But for a more immediate relief, breath work is really important. So these 3 techniques right here help regulate the nervous system within seconds. I mean, within like 20 seconds, you can interrupt turbulent emotions and bring about calming inner space for healing. So there's the 4-7-8 breathing, in which you're going to inhale to a count of 4, hold to a count of 7, exhale through the mouth through pursed lips to a count of 8. Inhale through the nostrils, 4, hold 7, exhale through pursed lips like you're blowing out a candle, 8. And this slows the heart rate, reduces stress within minutes, and activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Alternate nostril breathing, visualizing that you're inhaling through the left, out the right, in the right, out the left. This balances the brain. Extended exhale. This is a very quick way. If we can just make the exhalation about 2 to 3 times the duration as the inhale, then we can be able to activate the parasympathetic nervous system and calm ourselves down. I'm going to give you one more, and that is a 4th breathwork technique here, which is my personal favorite. Saving the best for last here with you as a free bonus, which is if we can interrupt the inhalation, either in 2 parts or in 7 parts, then we can interrupt whatever turbulent emotions we're experiencing. And people do this naturally. For example, in between sobbing, you'll hear people go, they kind of take like 2 like deep inhalations. They're very verbal, very kind of loud in between sobbing. That's actually an automatic response from your nervous system that your body is generating to interrupt whatever emotions you're feeling by interrupting the inhalation. So you can either interrupt the the inhalation by dividing it into 2 parts or 7 parts, visualizing that it's like a tube and you're going to be filling the tube in increments. So either 2 increments of halfway First feeling the first half, then the second half, like that, or breaking the inhalation into 7 equal parts. Meaning you're going to inhale short, stop, inhale short, stop, inhale short, stop 7 times, visualizing the breath is going from the navel all the way to the nostrils. So then at the top of the breath, your focus is at the nostrils, inhaling, and then exhale to a count of 8 or 12 or 16. Really, the focus is on breaking up the inhalation here. Do this 3 times, and I promise you, you'll notice you can, I think the best word is interrupt whatever turbulent emotions you're experiencing and come back into control over your inner state. Releasing trauma through the subconscious mind. You see, Yoga Nidra allows us to observe our emotions and memories without reacting to them. By relaxing and then transcending the body and mind, we come into this neutral space. And in this neutral space of just detached, choiceless, fully expansive awareness, you can look at whatever is within you, whatever is in your heart, from this neutral perspective that isn't so stigmatizing, and you can have more clarity. And this neutral awareness that you have over your own thoughts, emotions, and whatever's repressed there in your psyche allows for it to come up, to be expressed, to be released. So you're disinvesting your energy from it by not focusing on it from the ego's perspective anymore, taking that step back, just looking at it without emotions. It's taking away a lot of that energy that was perpetuating and giving it momentum. When you can look at it without that egocentric perspective, it starts to lose momentum. And so not only is it not as overwhelming, but also you can start to develop this matured understanding, right? From that neutral awareness develops higher understanding, matured understanding. So the result of this is that the mind becomes lighter, freer, more harmonious. Yoga Nidra creates this neutral, choiceless awareness, which diffuses the emotional intensity. So it leads us beyond the body and mind into pure awareness, letting go, freedom from our reactivity. And in the stillness, we recognize then peace, serenity, joy, contentment. These are our own qualities. They are not dependent on the objects of the senses. They are not dependent on the world or other people. And when we can go into our own space and silence the mind and still the body, then you can experience that highest peace and bliss actually anywhere and anytime. Because we realize we are not our thoughts, we are not our emotions, we are not our trauma. And this recognition brings profound peace, inner freedom, and deep spiritual bliss. Yoga Nidra creates the space for this recognition to occur because we have to have this realization on our own. It has to be a personal experience. Nobody can have that experience for you. And the beauty of Yoga Nidra is that it's not intellectualism, it's not lecture, it's not philosophy, it's not somebody trying to give you their dogma, it's not somebody trying to give you their own indoctrinations. Yoga Nidra creates the space for you to have your own experience. And in that experience of Yoga Nidra, there is the offloading of that stress and tension and anxiety. And there is increasingly more harmony. There's increasingly more inner silence. As the mind becomes more silent, you can recognize that bliss that is your own quality. And you can begin to recognize what you truly are. Because suffering exists because we are identifying with the wrong parts of who we are. It's not having an ego that's the problem. It's over identification with the ego. Because we don't really know who we are as Atman, as Shiva, as Brahman, however you want to say it, as the divine one universal consciousness. Because we don't know who we are as the formless silent self, we project identity onto the forms of the world, and we suffer when those things change. Suffering is identity loss. Yoga Nidra provides us that silence that reveals our true nature. When the mind is silent, awareness becomes self reflective. That's when you see what you truly are. When we transcend all the false identifications with the body and mind, rooted in egocentricity and a lack of spiritual knowledge, then you are free from your suffering instantaneously and forever. For example, if you have mistaken a rope for a snake in the corner of your house, you might try some breath work and yoga nidra to calm yourself down, and I'm sure it would work. Maybe then the idea of the snake in the corner wouldn't frighten you so much. But if you can realize it never was a snake and only a rope, that fear vanishes immediately, and with it, all of the stress and tension. So, this freedom from suffering is the promise of yoga and meditation. But more than that, it carries with it the promise of an everlasting, permanent bliss that arises as a result of higher awareness. So, dear ones, if this resonates with you and you're ready to experience this for yourself, please learn more by clicking the link in this video's description. You can use the code welcome back to get 10% off of the online retreat starting this Saturday. Don't wait. It's starting just coming up here on February 1st. Give yourself this space to heal. And I really look forward to seeing you inside. Here we will be exploring the benefits of Yoga Nidra on multiple dimensions, on the body, on the breath, on the mind, on the psyche. And we'll have 2 days of this 5-day retreat just to go into that in between space, the state of Yoga Nidra, between waking and sleeping, when you're fully alert and aware and awake, but the mind is perfectly silent and the ego is not manifesting. And you're totally immersed in the present moment where nothing is actually harming you 99% of the time, where you are safe and where we can experience the bliss of the self and awaken to our own spiritual truth. So if this appeals to you, we will be meeting 5 consecutive days, 90 to 120 minutes each day. And you'll be learning breathwork techniques to immediately relieve stress and anxiety. I'll be leading you through, it'll be a mixture of theory and practical application. And the second half is a deep yoga nidra practice for subconscious healing and for resetting the nervous system, for decompressing the nervous system from all chronic tension. And as a bonus, I'm giving you my complete Yoga Nidra library of over 50 MP3s. So check out the link in the description of this video. Thank you so much for attending this video and for supporting me in this work, which is my life purpose and is what I'm most passionate about, and look forward to sharing with you this knowledge more than anything else. With great love and great respect, I welcome you with all my heart. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om.